They stood face to face in the middle of a dusty town. No guns raised. No words spoken. But one look between them was powerful enough to change both their lives forever. Backhand index pointing right before the story begins. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, Western Storyverse, for more unforgettable Western stories. The sun hung low over the frontier town, spilling golden light across dirt roads and wooden buildings worn by time. Dust floated in the air, glowing like embers. People slowed their steps, sensing something unspoken was about to happen. He stood there, tall, rugged, his hat casting a shadow over tired eyes. The red bandana at his neck was faded, like the memories he tried to bury. Every scar on his face told a story he never shared. Then she stepped into view. Wrapped in a brown shawl, her straw hat tilted slightly, she didn't look weak, she looked steady. Her eyes met his without fear. The noise of the town faded. No one else mattered. They hadn't seen each other in 3 years. The last time, the town was burning. "Why did you come back?" she asked, her voice calm but tight, like a rope pulled too far. "I never left," he replied quietly. "Not in here." He tapped his chest once, then let his hand fall. The sheriff's office loomed behind them. Men watched from porches. Everyone remembered what happened between these two. Love once whispered about. A promise broken. A night that ended in blood and fire. Her name was Clara Whitmore. His was Ethan Cole. Ethan had been blamed for a robbery that left 2 men dead. The town needed someone to hate, and Ethan was already an outsider. Clara had begged him to stay and fight the accusation. Instead, he rode away at dawn. Or so she thought. "You left me to face them alone," Clara said. "You let them call me a liar." Ethan swallowed. "If I stayed, they'd have killed me, and maybe you too. That was never your choice to make." Her words cut deeper than any knife. Behind them, the wind kicked up dust. The past felt closer than the present. Ethan removed his hat, something he rarely did. "I came back because the truth is finally coming with me." She laughed bitterly. "Truth doesn't survive long in this town. Then I'll protect it." Clara studied his face, searching for the boy she once loved. She found him buried beneath guilt and regret. That night, the town gathered at the saloon. Ethan stood alone near the wall as whispers crawled like snakes across the room. "He's back. Murderer." Or worse. Clara entered moments later. Conversations stopped. All eyes turned to her. She had a choice. Walk away. Or stand beside the man who broke her heart. She walked to Ethan and stood next to him. Gasps echoed. "I know what you think you know," Clara said loudly. "But you're wrong." The sheriff smirked. "And why should we believe you, Miss Whitmore?" "Because I saw who really stole that gold," she said. "And I've stayed silent for 3 years out of fear." "Not anymore." The room erupted. Ethan looked at her, stunned. "Clara, you don't have to." "I do," she said softly. "I should have done this long ago." Outside, thunder rolled in the distance. A storm was coming, inside and out. That night would change everything. And this time, neither of them would run. She stood against the town that betrayed her. He stood ready to face death for the truth. But the final choice would cost them more than either imagined. Rain fell hard by morning, turning dust into mud. The storm matched the town's mood, uneasy, restless, angry. The sheriff called for a hearing at noon. Ethan was to stand trial by the town itself. Clara barely slept. Memories haunted her: Ethan's laughter, the night of the fire, the sound of hooves fading into the dark. She found Ethan outside the old stable. "You could still leave," she said. "I won't," he answered. "I won't run again." Inside the sheriff's office, the truth finally surfaced. A former deputy, greedy and powerful, had framed Ethan to steal gold meant for the railroad. Witnesses came forward. Evidence was laid bare. The room fell silent. The sheriff's face hardened. Even if that's true, some here still want blood. Ethan stepped forward. Then take mine. But leave her out of this. Clara grabbed his hand. No, she said. We face this together. Outside, angry townsfolk gathered. Fear turned to fury. A gunshot cracked the air. Chaos erupted. Ethan pulled Clara behind a wagon as bullets tore through wood. The real criminals tried to escape, firing wildly. Ethan chased them into the rain-soaked street. A struggle followed. One man fell. Another surrendered. Silence returned. When it was over, Ethan collapsed to his knees, wounded, but alive. Clara ran to him, tears mixing with rain. Stay with me. Please. He smiled weakly. Looks like I'm not riding away this time. Days later, the town stood quieter, humbled by truth. Ethan was cleared. The sheriff resigned. And Clara? She stood beside Ethan at the edge of town, where the road split into two directions. So, she said. Do you stay? Ethan looked at the horizon, then at her. Only if you'll have me. She smiled through tears. I never stopped. They walked forward together, not as fugitives, but as survivors. Because sometimes, one look, one choice, one brave stand, is enough to change fate forever. Thanks for watching Western Storyverse. If this story moved you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves powerful Western tales.